Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Hope you have a wonderful day. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you the costs of owning an investment property, some of the costs associated with it. I remember when I first started our journey when it comes to property investing, I didn't know any better. I thought I have just, you know what, the property is going to take care of itself and it's going to give me enough surplus money in order for us to live on our, I guess, based on our lifestyle. But for some reason, that wasn't sort of like written somewhere, but you need to understand certain costs involved when you're actually having once you actually acquire the property. So some of the costs involved would be council and water rates. Those are the sort of costs, that fixed costs. Let's say you have to pay them no matter what, even if you own, if you rent them out. Let's say that goes also if you're owning a property, you will have to pay council rate as well as water rate. Another one would be insurance. Those some of the insurance will be building insurance or landlord insurance, especially if you have a standalone home instead of buying in an apartment base, or if not a let's say townhouse base, because some of the insurance you actually pay that in a body corporate also. Um, that goes another thing, body corporate fees. So body corporate fees is equivalent to your strata. This is like your the fees involved to maintaining the building or the looks of the property around the whole entire townhouse or around the whole entire building. So what I like about the body corporate fees, on the other hand, is like all of the, I guess, the common area. If you have a gym, a swimming pool, a lift, is taking care of that. As well as, let's say, if you have a property manager, as well as a cleaner that clean the hallway of your whole property or take out the bin for you in a regular basis, that's what they're for. If you don't have that, you probably need to have some sort of sinking fund in order for you to take care of your own home. Another one will be land tax. Land tax, I didn't understand this until I actually got the bill. So when you get the bill, you kind of need to pay for that as well. Property management fee when you're actually renting out the property. So such as using an agent, you need to figure out which agent you're going to be using if you're renting out the property. They have also letting fee on how much will it cost for you to rent out the property. Usually on the first week, I think it is 1 or 2 weeks of the first rent goes to them, as well as the ongoing, let's say, regular basis maintenance as well as customer service that they do for your property. Another one would be repairs and maintenance costs. Now, we bought this property expecting there won't be a lot of those, but I realized this maintenance on a property will be the same as maintaining, let's say, in a unit. If you have an investment property in a unit, if not maintenance costs when you have a townhouse, similar costs or similar repair anyway. So expect to have some sort of wear and tear when you're having investment property. I remember one of our investment property, the air conditioning. They don't have air conditioning in this house. In Queensland, if you don't have air conditioning, it might be really tough, especially some of the nights. In here, it can get really humid at a certain point of time of the year. Last year was really, really hot. It was really dry. This year, luckily, it's a little bit wet, I guess. We had a couple of rains in December and January. So when it's really hot, you kind of need some sort of fan or air conditioning around the home. Home loan repayment fees, that is a bigger. If you buying a home, you're bound to have a mortgage in some form. So understand the fees that comes with a home loan. Understand what the repayment involved, the interest rate, how often you're expecting to make a payment. We change our repayment at one stage instead of monthly into a fortnightly, and then from there changing it into weekly. So pretending that we're actually paying rent. So that's how we structured ours. Another one would be, I guess we already mentioned about the renovation. So stamp duty costs. So sometimes when you see the price of a certain property when you buy them, understand that there's actually another cost involved, which is the stamp duty as well as solicitor as well as agent fees. So those are the hidden costs. Let's say it's not written down in let's say the price of a property. You have to figure out how much those things are. If not, your solicitor bound to actually tell you how much you are expecting to pay. You should have a buffer, let's say, roughly an extra, call it, and from the price of the property, I put aside an extra 10% to covering up extra costs, hidden costs of when you're purchasing a property. Another one would be lender's mortgage insurance if you are putting money roughly about less than 20%. So for me, I would highly suggest it would be put down more than 20% when you're buying investment property, because you'll be amazed how much those lender's mortgage insurance costing you over the whole entire 30 years. It might sound not much, but over time, it's actually an insurance from for the bank that you're paying for, not to cover you. It's actually to cover the bank. So another one, legal costs. So it can be varies. We've used a solicitor at the time that this is being recorded. It was about $1,000 to about $2,000. They all work the same thing as long as making sure that all the paperwork is being legal. That's about it. Some of them is tells you what are you here are the terms and condition, and I like to adjust it based on what I like to be on the terms and condition. So depending which legal service you got to use one of them. It doesn't matter which one. So I understand that some of them is like if you have here's a template, this is what we usually do, or if not, other solicitors like hey I want this to be as a template. So we use both of them in our previous days when we buy properties or so. Building and pest report. Those report, it might be useless for some, but it's useful in some aspect. It tells you in there if there's a termite problem or if there's I guess, big repairs that are expected to come up. We didn't know this, but it turned out to be that there's actually a leak when we bought this property. We didn't check on that aspect of it. It looks great because everything was dry. But if we were to solve this during a rainy season, it's probably that leak will start showing us so here and there. Definitely expecting a little bit of information in there that is very useful. Read those reports. Try to understand it. If you don't understand it, ask them to explain what are the terms or what are those words or that they actually using, because it will help you in the long term. Capital gain tax when you sell the property. In like for us, it is a biggest pain when we have to pay capital gain tax. However, it is just part of the process of actually owning and buying and selling a big asset. You're bound to have to pay. You have to pay taxes or so on top when you're actually owning those. But that's just part of the game. You can't avoid them, capital gain tax. So that's for me. It's a learning curve. I mean, we sold in 2 financial years. I was amazed the amount of money that we have to pay in terms of our taxes. And speak to your accountant and figuring out a way maybe that you can to reduce those capital gain tax if you can. So and we got hit quite big. I never experienced paying this much tax, but hey, that would mean that we actually did make a lot of money. If we didn't have to pay that much tax, that means we're not making a lot of money. So that's how I gauge them. So based on our own personal experience, the higher the tax that we pay, that's a good thing. That means we're actually making more money. If you are using a buyer's agent, be sure that you're bound to have associated costs on that. We bought a few investment property by a buyer's agent. However, I guess if you're newbie, yeah, it's probably a good idea. But if you already done one, just have the learning curve on that and probably don't do another one, because those fees can get add up if you have multiple houses. Let's assume that you're going to buy 10 houses at $10,000 per house is the agent fee. So that would mean you'd be paying $100,000 already for agent fees buyer's agent fees, let's say. Meanwhile, you could actually probably use that as a deposit buy another house. If you know the key factor, what is it that you're trying to achieve? Those are just our little bits and pieces. I guess the cost of owning an investment property. If you like this type of content, guys, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.